Hi, my name's John. I'm the founder of Martellus Industries, and I love being outdoors, and I love to acquire new outdoor skills. One of my favorite skills is constructing a fire using a bow drill. One thing that we'll go over in a different video is how to make a fire nest and how to gather your fuel before you start. Those are very important because before you start to drill on your fireboard and start getting your fire going, you need to have all of the fuel you're going to use ready and at hand, because once you ignite your fire nest, you're not going to have time to go gathering other materials. And so if you don't have everything ready ahead of time, then you're just going to be wasting your time and the little fuel that you have. So before you practice your making a fire with a bow drill, first you need to construct your bow drill set. Right here I've made a bow, and you're going to want to use a green limb to construct this. So cut a fresh limb off of a tree. It needs to be springy and about somewhere around a ½ inch in diameter, depending on what kind of wood you're using. And I've strung it here with paracord, 550 paracord. You can use other things if you like, a shoelace or other kinds of cord. So that's the first piece to our set. Second, we're going to need a drill, and you're going to want to find a dry, straight piece of wood. You can experiment with different thicknesses and different kinds of wood. My favorite right here is elderberry, and it requires a special construction which we can go over at another time, but this drill has worked very well for me. Then you're going to need 2 boards. First, your fire board, which you'll be drilling on, and your base board, which just sits under your fireboard and catches the ember as you create it with your fire drill. Okay, to hold the drill in place as you're rotating it with your bow, you're going to need a top rock or socket rock. There are different names for this. Essentially, you need a hard object with a depression in it, a concavity, and that is your socket that fits into the top of your drill. And the idea is just to capture it in place as you're spinning it, and you can provide some pressure downwards with that socket. This one has been mechanically drilled out, so it has a very good socket in it, nice and deep, and that will hold the top of my drill very well. This other rock this is quartzite, and I just picked it up off the ground one day and started whacking it with another rock. Since it's quartzite, it'll chip if you hit it with a hard object. So I just started carving out a little depression in there by whacking it with another rock and grinding it. So this will work as a top rock, since that depression is still very shallow. It's not going to hold the drill in place really well, so I'll spend some time struggling with it. It'll tend to slip out as I'm rotating it with my bow, but it will work in a pinch. A couple other tips for constructing your set. Your drill should be of a harder material than your fireboard. The reason for that is because as we're drilling, we want to grind away at our fireboard and not at the end of our drill as much. The drill will wear down over time, but you want to reduce that as much as possible. You're going to be grinding on your fireboard, okay? And then you get the buildup of sawdust and fibers combined with that heat. It will ignite and create an ember that you can use to then light your fire nest with. Okay, so your drill should be harder material than your fireboard, but your fireboard shouldn't be too soft either, so experiment with different kinds of wood. One other tip, you want to reduce the friction on your socket, okay? We want all of the friction and the heat to be concentrated at the bottom of the drill. So here at the top we want to reduce that, and you can do that by lubricating it with different materials. One way to do it is, if your ears are dirty, then just use some earwax, stick it in here, gather some wax on there. My ears are pretty clean right now. Also, if you haven't showered in a couple days, you can grab some grease off your skin from the side of your nose or other places. You can run it through your hair, rub it on your scalp. Just get some of that natural lubricant on there, and that'll reduce some of your friction at the top of your drill. So personally, it took me a long time to be successful at employing the bow drill to construct a fire. The trick is persistence and experimentation. Don't expect to watch this video and be able to start a fire using a bow drill right away. Likely you'll need a personal instructor, and I had several instructors before I was successful in making a fire with a bow drill. So it's going to be frustrating. Just be persistent and keep trying, keep experimenting. With that said, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate the bow drill fire. Here we go. So you wrap your drill in your bow drill, in your bowstring like that. You're going to want to step on your fireboard, hold it down tight to your baseboard. Okay, with your foot, step on it like that. Hold your drill in place with your socket, and then start drilling. Okay, let me try that again. Hope you can see that. And there you go. I'm not actually going to build a fire right now, but if I were to, I would keep adding fuel to this and stoking it, adding these little bigger pieces. At this point, I'm just going to let that burn out. So as always, it required persistence and some patience and hard work. Check out the blog post that goes along with this video, and I'll talk about some more specific tips and give some pictures to help you construct your bow drill set. Thanks for watching.